Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Sports World Dubbo, where we continue our live coverage of the 2016 Australian Junior Indoor Cricket Championships Final Series. And we have for you our last games of the evening. On this channel, you'll see the 17 and under boys preliminary final between the Australian Capital Territory and Western Australia. On our other channel, you'll see the girls in the same age group between Queensland and the New South Wales Cyclones. My name's Cameron Walter. I'm joined once again by Tony Panicasio. And we've seen some fantastic games already today. I don't think that these two will be any exception, Tony.
No, I'm expecting this one to go right down to the wire again. Earlier in the week, you had the victory to the WA side, but there's been a lot of cricket played since then, and I don't think there's a struck match.
Yeah, absolutely. Western Australia doing ACT 79-46 the first game, but this will only be the second time they've met at the tournament because of the way that it's played. And it's sudden death cricket. Western Australia lost the major semi to Victoria earlier tonight. The ACT got in front of the home side New South Wales Cyclones in a good win in the minor semi-final. So the ACT is certainly on the up. It's up to Western Australia to ensure that they don't let their loss in the major semi see them go out in straight
It's a big ask here because momentum's a wonderful thing and the ACT have all of it at the moment.
Why don't you take us through the two sides?
Okay, representing the ACT, we've got Tyler Van Leeuwen, Isaac Deaker, Brent Durnan, Dylan Farham, Dominic Hawksworth, Tyler Hayes, Thomas Seaman, Jackson Wise, and they're coached by Jason Hayes, an unchanged team from the semi-final, not surprising. For WA, there is one change to the team. We've got Noah Criddle-White, Josh Fontana, Jesse Goldsworthy, Riley Cameron comes in, Jesse Messeret, Ethan Claw, Ross Nesbitt, and Harvey Golding, and they're coached by Mark, help me out.
Kulinitz, I believe. Don't put your house on that. I just call him Mark. The umpire for the match will be Stephen Young from New South Wales, and Western Australia will be batting first, and they're opening with two of their most experienced bats in Noah Criddle-White and Josh Fontana, and I don't think that's surprising either, Tony, in a sudden death final to get your two best bats out at the start.
Both boys have been pretty strong all week. Noah had a bit of a faux pas in the last game, but both of them played 21s and acquitted themselves really well at 21s. I'd expect that they'll get a good start here, but they are up against probably the bowler of the tournament in Tyler Van Leeuwen, so strap in and get ready.
Yeah, the ACT captain Tyler Van Leeuwen certainly has had a particularly special tournament with the ball. The ACT will be relying on him to continue that in this match. So he has the ball in hand for the first over of the 17 and under boys preliminary final. Here we go. Starts well, finds an edge, behind square for a single.
Best part about Tyler too is he has not dropped in any pace at all. He is as quick now as he was in the first game.
And it says a lot for his endurance, and I know I can obviously say with some authority that the ACT have a pretty extensive warm-up recovery program as Tyler pushes that one leg side, just to make sure everyone gets through the week. And another one down leg side. He obviously attempting to put it right on the legs of Criddle-White, but
yeah, interesting though, because they've only got the one on leg. It's not like he's got two there.
Yeah, perhaps trying to force him to turn inside out. Chance at the top. Throw is good, but doesn't hit the stumps. Criddle-White probably home anyway. The two balls remain now in the first over.
Yeah, good areas there.
Good width there. Fontana not getting across, so beaten, and a dot ball. Final ball of Tyler's over.
He's a very correct batsman, Fontana, so that sort of ball actually causes him issues.
Better across that time. So a good two to finish, and that's a good over for Western Australia, taking 8 runs off the ACT captain.
Yeah, they'd be very happy with that start. He's generally a guy who gets a wicket early for them and gets the momentum going.
It'll be Isaac Deaker to bowl the second over for the ACT.
He's an awkward bowler, Isaac, when you watch him. But he generally gets through batsmen quite surprisingly. I've watched him a few times this week and thought, what's he going to do? But he just does enough with the ball to cause issues.
Oh, very nearly a direct hit there and just a single, but I suspect that Dika is probably one of those bowlers that doesn't get a lot of respect from batsmen, and that's probably how he is as effective as he is. Well, very clear plan here from the ACT bowlers to Criddle White, and they're
trying to really cramp him up.
It so far. Yeah, width there. Criddle White puts it away from 2. No signs of the poor shot selection that we saw in the earlier game from Criddle White.
Coach Wayne Fontana spent quite a deal of time with him in the warm-up, trying to get his head in the right space.
And catches some net for 2.
They really can't afford to give either of these batsmen width at all. They look very determined to just play the springs. Yeah.
And done with some authority there from Criddle White. And the ACT certainly one of those states and territories that needs wickets to fire up. They can't get themselves going without one, so WA be very keen to shut them out here. And they've done it so far off the first 2 overs. 17 runs coming from them.
And you can feel they just haven't got that energy that they showed in the last semi-final. So the sooner they get that wicket,
that'll be their spark. It's, as the indoor cricket manager at Cricket ACT, it's probably been one of my chief criticisms of our players over many years, is that we rely too heavily on that early wicket to get going. In some respects, though, I've little doubt that Jason Hayes and his team know what's what. They know what they need to do, perhaps contain this pair and then really attack some of the weaker ones from Western Australia. Here comes Dom Hawksworth. Drags it short.
Ooh, he got away with that one. Big smile on Josh Fontana's face. He knows that was a little bit lucky. You can hear the call from even the ACT players about trying to switch on out there.
A lot of flight. Just really well weighted from Criddle White.
This is a different Criddle White to the last game.
Will he maintain it? Or will we see the poor shot selector?
He looks very focused, very focused.
Oh, where's that gone?
Oh.
Gee, almost a chance. Dika can't hit. The game before this one, we saw probably 15, 20 chances where no one could hit the stumps. So maybe it's a curse of this court, I'm not sure, but there it is. It's through everybody. Well bowled by Dom Hawksworth. Gets the dot.
Criddle White's response will be interesting now.
Throws it right up there, and Criddle White makes no mistake. Puts it away for 7. It was a poor delivery, and it got dealt with accordingly. Just over pitching there, Dom Hawksworth.
It's the fine line, though, isn't it? A wicket, possibly the ball before, changes the whole thing.
Yep.
Now they're 31 with a ball to go.
Beaten again. Good recovery from Dom.
The over probably deserved better.
Yeah.
He's gone for 13. He's beaten the bat a number of times. Tyler Hayes to finish off for the ACT.
Yeah, bowled a good over at the death of the previous game.
As you said, though, there are question marks about some of the other pairs for WA at the moment, so this really is important to try and hold this, if not knock it backwards.
Tucked him up.
Again, the springiness of the nets coming to Criddle White's aid there as well, bouncing back to the centre.
Western Australia in a very strong position with 5 balls remaining in the over. Looking good for 40 at this point. Oh, that could have gone anywhere. Another wry smile from Josh Fontana. Riding his luck at the moment.
Switching to 2 on leg again, that same plan to Criddle White.
Yeah, far too much width for that plan. You see he's trying to dig it in short, but not getting his line right that time.
Especially to somebody with the height and size of Criddle White. If you don't get it right, he has that power as well as the technique.
Great shot from Fontana.
Quick on his feet, Josh.
Yeah.
That wasn't that bad a ball in the end, and yet he was able to turn it into an easy run.
Two balls remain. Down up
shot.
3.
Great shot.
That in all likelihood would be the last ball that Criddle White faces in the match, and what a turnaround from the player we saw in the previous match.
Yes, I'm sure he was happy it was a major semi and they had another chance, because he certainly made good use of it in this game.
Call of no, but
yep.
The damage done. 42 runs. That
Fantastic
is an excellent start for Western Australia. And I talked before, Tony, about how the ACT need a spark to get going. They're going to need more than that now, because Western Australia have put on such an imposing start. The ACT heads are already starting to drop. They really need to reverse this momentum.
You can look at it though and say, well, 42, but if they get an early wicket, all of a sudden what looked easy for one pair becomes hard, and then the next pair will start going, well, we know what's going on. So really, really important that they get a wicket in the first 3 or 4 balls of this over.
Yeah, agree. You see them having quite an intense chat with their coach, Jason Hayes. Now, Jason himself, a former Open men's player for many years, and a representative of Australia at the Masters level. Frequent all-star player at the Open men's level, so knows his stuff, and has often said to me that he coaches the way that he plays. So he tries to get the guys to approach the game the same way that he would. So it'll be interesting to see what approach he's asking them to take now. But I suspect you're right, Tony. They really need to strike early, and it's Jackson Wise.
And he's had a habit of getting wickets early in his overs through the tournament.
Starts too short and too wide, and Claw gets 2 for fun.
And Claw has batted well all week. He's averaged around about the 20 a game, so.
Yeah, width.
Well, there's the first dot ball. At least they can start to generate some pressure. Not happy with the call, the batsman, but it was clearly in.
Full driven, chance.
Oh, that's out.
That's out. Just as easy as you like for Tyler Van Leeuwen. Hits the net straight into his hands, and he just had to reach out and take the bails off. So good piece of work there from what wasn't really a wicket-taking delivery.
No, you'd have to question whether or not you have to go that hard at the ball. These springy nets, it comes right back to the receiver. That could be the start they need. Good shot.
And a good response. But again, not a lot of spark from the ACT after that wicket.
No.
It's either they're a little bit shocked, or this is a deliberate effort from the coach to just keep them calm and try and get them to produce a professional effort rather than a hype effort.
Yeah, but they do need that spark. It's getting to the point where if they're not careful, it's a very quiet field at the moment, isn't it?
It certainly is. Through for a single, lot of traffic there. And brings the over to an end. Just 2 runs from it with the wicket, so a good one for the ACT. They needed that.
A good one, but again, look at the huddle. It's just not an ACT huddle to me.
It's a little bit ho-hum.
Yeah.
Be Brent Durnan, he's going to bowl the 3rd over. He's an interesting character. Brent affectionately has earned the nickname Brentosaurus Rex, or B-Rex for short. And it's his first year at the national level, and he finds himself playing in a preliminary final for his territory. Here he is to Claw. And starts with a beamer. Just announcing his presence to the batsman. So that's a no ball. And again, full and driven to the back for 5. He's going to have to get it right.
Yeah, can't do that with Claw. He's too good a bat. He will take advantage of anything loose.
Better length, driven
Chance.
well, chance at the keeper's end. Good piece of fielding from Dika. He's been good on the 3 line, but WA too quick.
Jason Hayes has made his way to the back of court here. He's imploring his bowler to put something on it, not just float it down there.
Catch that.
There it is.
That'll be out.
That's why he's the coach.
Yeah, look, Jason Hayes has spent a lot of his time at the back of the court during the ACT fielding innings, and a very, there's 2 things about that. One, he's giving them some specific instructions about what to do, but the fact that the young boys are able to execute that, that's another thing altogether.
Well, when he got the wicket, Durnan turned straight around and looked and gave the smile to the coach. So.
Yeah.
Holding the score well here at this point. Too much width again.
Yeah, and played well played by Golding to finish, to take 2 off the last ball and 6 for the over. But as you say, they're doing well to contain this pair so far. They have to undo a lot of the damage done by that first pair, and this is the way to do it. It'll be the wicketkeeper and vice-captain and Dylan Farram to bowl the 7th over of the match.
He's been another one of the interesting bowlers to watch this week. Quite often people haven't given him the respect, and he's been able to pick up wickets.
Chance at the front court. It just, again, those nets, it just pushes it out of the reach of the fielders. Golding starts with 2.
Settled down, Goldie. He looked quite nervous early on, but he's now starting to get into a rhythm. A few deep breaths from Golding. Oh, chance. Oh.
Yeah, Farron probably should have left that for Van Leeuwen, who was better placed, but can't fault him for grabbing that. A dot ball.
That's a good
That's
shot.
a great shot. A little flick of resignation there from Farron after Claw puts him high into the offside 3 net.
That's
Chance.
a better spot. Oh, didn't have the ball.
Down.
Didn't have the ball.
Gee, you have to say, I think Claw would have been out there. It's a fumble from Hayes filling in at the keeper position.
Good quick release from Dika again too.
2 balls remain in the Farram over.
It's a better line.
Yeah. We've seen Jackson Wise there at the leg side position spend a lot of his time at the sweeper position on the 3 line, but in the front court for the finals by the look of it. Still doing a good job for the ACT. Last ball. Full driven and driven well. Another 4 runs to the total, and Claw batting the house down. He's on 15 runs so far. And not a good over for the ACT. 10 runs
Just
from
not
it.
quite hitting it. You know, it's not much in it, but it's enough with a good bat where he'll take toll of it. You know, he's missed his mark there by only probably about 4 or 5 centimetres, and the result is 4 runs. Thomas Seaman coming on. He's been one of the standouts for me this week.
Yes, Tom, one of those players that's just come up through the ranks, the age groups over the years, and he's just turned into an absolute superstar of a bat, and no slouch in the field or with the ball either. Going to need a big over from him here. Starts with a wide.
Ooh.
And in the last over, of course, they will have that re-bowled. Width straight into Hayes in the front court. Second effort was good, but
they really need to
batsman
find
home.
something here, because otherwise they're going to be looking at 70 after 8. And that's a massive score at the 8 over mark. Oh, another wide.
Pushes it wide again. So it's all Western Australia at the moment. I know that it was a good first over from Wise, but the men from the West, or I probably should say boys from the West, are doing the job for their state.
There's the spot he wants. He's got to be able to do it now for the next 2 or 3 balls. Desperately need a wicket just to get some momentum.
Yeah, just safe into the vacant court for a single. And still 3 balls remain in this over. And the partnership's on 24 in the total, somewhat ominously on 66. Judged fair by umpire Young. Perhaps somewhat fortunately for the ACT. And 2 balls remain.
Oh, that hurts.
It surely does. And another 7 from Clough.
And again, he takes toll of the bad ball. They've been very aggressive in taking to the bad ball. Oh, he's gone through him but missed the stump. Well, 73 after 8. This is going to need a massive change in the way this game's headed.
Yeah, a complete reversal of momentum and form needed for the ACT to keep, I would guess, Western Australia to something less than 120 at this point. That's looking
Very
fairly
ominous.
comfortable. And I'm not sure that the ACT have the firepower. They put 111 on in the minor semi-final, so can clearly put on plus 100 scores. And look, you never know, sudden death game, if they came out chasing 120 plus, obviously they'd throw the bat at it and probably take a higher degree of risk than they otherwise would. But that's not something they'll want to have to do.
No, well, Van Leeuwen's the man who can spark them again here, but you've got Messeret and Nesbitt, both, Australian players at the junior level. You'd expect that they'll be able to hold their nerve and just continue it on.
I think perhaps the only thing the ACT has up their sleeve is WA very, very, very tired and sore, and maybe a lot of run-scoring opportunities with the bat. And here is Van Leeuwen.
Oh, harsh call.
Yeah, no one happy with that call, least of all the bowler. That one well and truly down the leg side. So Van Leeuwen, as you said, Tony, has been the form bowler of the tournament. It hasn't produced the goods so far. This is where you need that from your strike bowler and your captain. You need it in a game like this.
That's
He
the
beats
spot.
the bat.
It's not beyond them to restrict them, though. That's the thing. You get that 1 or 2 and get the roll on, but it's just not consistent at the moment. Oh, wide again. And the anguish on his face as he turns to come back.
Yeah, very difficult for a captain to ask his team to lift when he's bowled an over like this one.
That's
a
fair.
better ball. So Messeret's faced, Nesbitt has faced every ball of the over so far. He's faced the whole over and takes 2 off the last ball and a
Keeps
very
it short.
comfortable 8 runs.
Without really doing too much. They need to find something.
Who's it going to be? The ACT is going to need a bowler or a fielder to stand up and create something special, and it's got to happen. For mine, I think it has to happen in this pair. If this pair gets away with another 30 runs, then WA are off and they won't look back.
Yeah, I think they need to bowl change-ups at this pair. Both of them like to go hard at the ball.
And it'll be Dom Hawksworth.
Oh, so they're going with the spinner.
Starts with 2.
It is so quiet out there, it's not funny.
Yeah, it's not only quiet on the court, it's quiet in the centre.
The whole thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think all the spectators are a little bit sort of awestruck at what's going on at the moment. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Hawksworth continues. Inside the line, but behind the legs for a dot ball.
And we have a fair few of the ACT here watching. They've got a whole lot of the younger guys that played earlier, so they haven't got much to cheer about, though.
Yeah, driven and a misfield, and that'll be 4. It should be 4. It wasn't called for. If I was umpiring, I'd give that 4. There's no way he controlled that slap.
There's a lot of frustration building out there.
Chance. He just checked his shot. Got away with 2.
The body language at the moment is not good.
Top ball, that is.
Can they repeat it, though? Good shot. And again, the loose ball's taken toll of.
Yeah, they're not missing out, WA. They're cashing in on just about every opportunity the ACT give them, and unfortunately for the boys from the capital, they're giving them far too many.
And again, you're looking around, the effort's definitely there. It's not like they're not trying, but it's just not happening for them.
Yeah, sometimes it's not your night. I've got memories of an under-20s team I coached in a prelim final against Western Australia in Strathpine several years ago, and WA did exactly this to us, and we chased it down. So we're talking
hoping for a bit of history.
Yeah, that's right. History needs to repeat itself.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, 2 runs.
Messeray struggled in the last game, but he's another one who's come out very focused and is playing pretty much to his strengths.
So, yeah, I guess what I mean when I talk about that other game that I'm hoping repeats itself is maybe what we're seeing is just the fatigue factor that's affecting all of the players. And WA, that might even be out, got there. WA obviously taking advantage of the fact that...
Oh, look, the scores have definitely got larger as the week's gone on, and fatigue has to play a role in that.
Yeah.
It's a very relaxed WA batting unit at the moment. They're smiling, having chats with each other. There's just not enough consistent bowling pressure coming to them.
And they're on 100 runs midway through the 11th over, Tony. Great effort there from Deaker. I suspect he saved the run there. He's hit it into the net, but that would have gone for 4, I would think. Last ball of the over. Full toss, tucked around the corner, 4-2. And 13 runs from it. I'm not sure what happened to the team that played the minor semi-final, Tony. Did they go out and swap for 8 other blokes?
I don't know. I'd love to know what Jason's saying to them at this point. I mean, you can only say so much in the way of positivity here. I mean, they've got to start producing.
It's going to be Farram. He'll bowl his second over. They need wickets. So far, 2 wickets in the match and 105 runs.
And credit to WA. They have been disciplined. This is not the WA I saw earlier in the day.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? We're seeing the complete opposite for both teams. Final over the pair. The boys from the capital in desperate need of multiple wickets. Chance.
Oh. They're the ones you really want to stick, and it's just not happening.
When it's not your night, it's not your night. Not too much wrong with the flick. It was a little bit high. Van Leeuwen unable to gather, and to be honest, I think you'll find Nesbitt was home without a direct hit anyway. Just scoring with such ease at the moment.
Gaining in confidence, just working its soft hands when needed, taking toll of the bad one when it's there.
It was a good gather from Hawksworth, but he had to switch hands, and in the process was not well placed to throw the stumps down, so they get through for a single, and an aggressive call. I think they've got enough runs to play with that we're going to see a lot of that now.
There's a lot of anxious faces out there.
The dot ball, so 2 remain, but Western Australia on 110 runs with 4.2 overs remaining. Chance at the front court, but can't get a hit. 2 runs, and it'll be the last ball now.
Good pick up. Oh, unlucky from Van Leeuwen.
Yeah. A good piece of fielding there from the ACT captain. Restricted it to a single, but the damage certainly has already been done as they move to 113 runs now after just 12 overs, and well on track for something on the order of 130 here.
Well, we saw in the 15 semi-final 133, and South Australia almost chased it down, but it's a mammoth task to try and chase that. They really need to keep this pair under 20 to have any hope.
And,
I know you're an optimist and you're an ACT man, but 130 is going to be...
Oh, tough ask.
Yeah.
Look, I think Western Australia have enough runs on the board now to win the game. If they can do what the last few pairs have done, it's not going to be 130, but 140. And I would ordinarily be saying that what a tough ask for Riley Cameron to come into a side in a sudden death final, but when you're coming in batting last with 113 runs on the board, I don't think, I think the last thing he's feeling right now is pressure.
No, it's a nice position to come out in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if Wise can at least get a spark for this last pair.
It's probably been the pick of the bowlers so far. They need another good over from him now.
Bit of pressure there from 17&U, trying to get in on top of that. There's intent. Can they convert it? Good shot. It's a good delivery, but well played in the end.
Yeah, I think that caught the back net first, so 1 run.
Oh.
Gee, he played that late. I almost thought he was going to leave that for a second there. Dot
But
ball.
again, happy enough to call no, knowing that they don't have to take any risks.
Inside the
Here we go.
line.
Third ball. Where's he going to bowl it?
It's a pretty common trait for full and wide on third ball, certainly in Canberra anyway, so potentially full and wide. Or short and at him. But they get through for the single, so they've seen him off.
And it's a good 2 overs from Wise.
Well,
1 for 6 off his 2.
Yeah,
and in a total that's
117.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He needs some company though now.
I'm not sure what the Western Australian coach is doing on the court.
I think you'll find that bail kept flashing the whole time. So I think Steve Young might have asked him to come out and just try and play with it. Be quite off-putting, I guess, for both keeper and umpire if the bail keeps flashing.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have been a problem if the ACT side had hit it maybe once in the innings so far. It probably would have righted itself. So somewhat embarrassing for the Western Australian coach to have to come out and fix the stumps for them. But
how many wickets have they taken so far?
Two
Two
wickets in the entire innings
Wow.
in 13 overs.
Mind you, earlier in the week, Western Australia went through a game without losing a wicket. So they are capable. Earlier in the week against Queensland, they went through.
Well, this pair being a lot more watchful, but they can afford to be extremely conservative. And
again,
especially
a good
when
shot.
they get a ball that they can put away like that. Not a lot wrong with it, but just into position so early. to play the shot.
Yeah, the confidence factors really come into this now for them. And the extras would be adding up as well. It's probably the most I've seen them bowl for the week.
Yeah, it's 18 runs so far in extras. They will not be very pleased with that.
No, they pride themselves on the discipline.
Full, driven straight to the fielder. Single. Another illustration of things just not going the way of the ACT. Just bounced out of the hands of Tyler Hayes there in the off-guard position. The last ball.
There
and
it is.
First wicket in a long time for the ACT. They needed it.
Well, it gives them some hope. They can still restrict this score. Well done from Deaker, 1 for 12 off his 2 overs.
They're just going to need similar overs for the last 2. I mean, if they can keep them to 120, it's still game on. I just feel that 130
could be beyond them.
Yeah. Certainly from a psychological perspective as well. I mean, you're asking 120, you're asking 30 a pair, 140, then you're starting to ask at least one pair to score 40. And although Western Australia have done it, it'll be a tough ask the way that ACT are carrying themselves at the moment. It'll be Tom Seaman to bowl the penultimate over of the innings. Ooh. Starts with a wide.
Really needs to hit the spot here. I think there's a chance if he can get it right, bring Wise into the game especially. Here we go.
Yeah,
there it is.
Direct hit. It's just starting to come together maybe for the ACT. It's straight to hand, and that's the first direct hit throw we've seen for a little while in a couple of games. So well done from Dom Hawksworth.
Well, it's just that window of opportunity here now. Now, if they restrict them and keep them under the 120, they'll feel it's a win.
Here we go. Again, too high.
Oh, no.
The throw was too high.
And all of a sudden, there's that little bit of bounce in the step here. I'd almost like to see 2 on leg with Seaman bowling into their body.
It's beyond Deaker. Back to 120 now with 2 balls remaining in the 15th over. Full, driven, through, but 2 runs.
What they'd give for a wicket here now, just to get it back under that 120. Oh, missed opportunity. Oh, he's gone.
Dragged out of the crease. He just overbalanced, and that was very smart from Dylan Farron to still take the stump. So
well, there's the wicket they wanted.
Big wicket.
And they're under 120 again.
Yeah, Seaman 2 for -2 off that, his second over. Tyler Hayes has the last over of the innings. A couple of wickets here, and the ACT will almost feel like they've pulled one out of the locker here.
Well, all of a sudden, instead of looking at that 130 plus.
Or 140 at one stage.
Yeah. A couple of wickets here, and it's really game on. Oh, chance.
And that's
gone.
out.
There it is. Where's this been the whole game?
Well, get the feeling it's clearly the weakest pair for Western Australia, and a good strategy from the Western Australians to come out with their 3 strongest and try and blast them out of the game early. That one probably unlucky, just played too hard.
The springy nets just brought it back.
Yep.
Oh, he's called no. Oh, needed to be a direct hit.
I think it was just not quite quick enough.
Yeah.
I think Deaker was surprised that they ran. Four balls remain.
Oh,
Chance,
take them.
And that's out.
That's out again.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
The ACT, up until the beginning of this pair, have taken 2 wickets. They've taken 5 so far in this pair.
And all of a sudden the score is very gettable. You look up there and go, well, 107's not beyond them. It's still 3 balls to go. And they're looking at the scoreboard, the batsmen. All of a sudden now we're hitting the stumps with regularity. And middle stump again too.
That's getting a bit of a workout, that one. You keep seeing it refuse to bounce back up by itself.
One more wicket here.
Just outside of the reach of Jackson Wise. They bring the score back to 110 with 1 ball remaining. And a no call, finished. So that is an absolute burgle for the Australian Capital Territory. Western Australia putting on 113 runs from 3 batting pairs, and so the ACT was staring down the barrel of a 140-run run chase, and what a comeback it was from them. They've kept the Western Australians to 110, and it's still game on. Who would have thought?
Well, I'm speechless at this point because, as you said, 2 wickets in the first 12. You couldn't see where they were going to buy a wicket from. But then, what can you say? Tight bowling, a little bit of nerves from the batsmen. You called it earlier when you said that they came in with no pressure on them, but they probably went a little bit defensive in their attitude. And all of a sudden, a couple of wickets, a few good bits of fielding.
And you have to acknowledge the fact that the ACT were ready for that. I mean, to bowl and field for 12 overs with no luck, everything going against you, heads going down, frustration creeping in, and then still being able to execute when those few chances that WA created there were created. Well, that's a credit to them. They persevered, and as a result, they're still in the game.
Oh, well and truly now, well and truly. And if they can get through the first 8 overs, it's the age-old thing. You want to give your last pair the chance to win the game. The further this game goes, the more that Western Australia will keep looking at the board going, we've blown it. So Western Australia, I think, will have to go really hard early.
And the ACT will need exactly the same amount of runs that they scored in the minor semi-final to advance. This, of course, is not our only sudden death semi-final taking place. The 17&U girls game is on the other channel. And we can tell you that Queensland have scored 83 runs. So the Cyclones will need 84 runs to advance to the final. And they've come from the minor semi, but I have to tell you, I think that they'll get that. They're a very strong batting team.
I'd back the Cyclones. They have got a very good batting lineup. Aggressive in the way they play too, so Queensland will have to really bowl tight. So the leadership team for the ACT have come out with the job of beginning the run chase. The captain, Tyler Van Leeuwen, will be on strike. The non-striker will be the vice-captain, Dylan Farram. And surprise, surprise, the first over will be bowled by the Western Australian captain, Noah Criddle-White. Well, both Van Leeuwen and Farram have scored runs regularly all week, so you'd like to think they could replicate that under the pressure situation.
Here we go. Criddle-White to Van Leeuwen.
Oh, well, that's not the start.
Great delivery. It's just taken the top of leg stump, and Tyler Van Leeuwen, who's enjoyed a good tournament so far, is really going to have to dig deep here. He didn't bowl very well in this match. You can see he's feeling it. You can see he's tired. He'll be very disappointed with that first ball. He's going to have to really find something within himself here. He has a bit of a slog back. And gets away with 4.
I like the intent. Got away with it, but certainly showing that they're not going to just buckle under.
No, and look, we talked earlier about Western Australia will be just as tired, so it's as likely that they'll get away with those sorts of shots as not. Great piece of fielding there in the front court from Claw. He's very good in that leg side position.
I'm impressed with Criddle-White. After watching him in the semi-final, he has risen to this occasion. Batted superbly, and now he started off with the ball just as well.
Shot from Farram, just a single.
Yeah, very composed character, Farram, isn't he, out there? Doesn't look fazed at all by the situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he feels that internally, but he certainly projects that. And that's something I've always admired about the way he plays his cricket.
Yeah, they're going to have to lift, though, because it is going to be an in-your-face West Australian team now. Classical West Australian play. There it is again.
Well, Criddle White, that is a captain's over. He came out, he opened the batting, he took 27 runs off his own stick and got his side off to a flyer, and he's opened the bowling and taken 2 for -5.
That's a statement.
He's bowled his counterpart twice.
That's a statement. And now he'll head down to cover and get in their face as well.
Messeray to bowl the second over. Criddle White runs up from cover to tell him, or from the guard position for.
They've moved Fontana into cover.
Maybe expecting some drives at this point from the ACT, who will need a few of them.
It's a quality shot.
Yeah, wonderful shot from Dylan Farram. And beaten.
They obviously have a plan, though, to Van Leeuwen, because both Criddle White and the other sweep are staying deeper. Golding as well, both behind the second line here as they're lining up.
And he's got him on third ball.
Yep, Criddle White telling him to keep that length at him. That's a good shot, though.
He takes 2 with 2 balls remaining.
They really can't afford another wicket now, can they? They're just going to have to dig deep, try and come off with that 20-odd.
Yeah, great shot from Farram. Catches the net for 2. He's batting well so far. He needs his captain to lift with him.
I have been amazed this week at the number of bowls in the tournament. It's just been, I didn't expect as many as we've seen. And that's across all grades. He's got to run hard.
Yeah, 2 full and dealt with by the ACT captain. They moved back to 3 runs, so 8 runs from that over. My feeling, Tony, is that the last pair need to walk on the court with a score 70 or better if they're going to have a chance.
As much as they lost wickets early because they're only chasing the 110, which is still a good score, they're not out of the game. Had they been chasing the 130, they'd start to hit the panic button. Like this, if they come off with 20, they're still well and truly in the game.
That's right, yeah. It is going to rely on just about everything to go right for the ACT as Nesbitt bowls the third over. Driven,
drive.
Chance, and that'll be out.
And that's what they don't want.
Very patient there from Criddle White. He just waited for that to come to him. And Tyler Van Leeuwen, I have to say, very slow between the wickets there.
Yeah, the springiness of the nets when you hit the big shot.
Chance at the top.
Oh. Would have been interesting if that had hit. He's buying a good length though, Nesbitt, making it difficult for them, keeping the front court in play now. Oh, that's a fair ball. It's almost like Van Leeuwen is actually planning that front foot, looking for the big drive at the moment. It's a wide. Really important last couple of balls in this over. There's the drive and Oh, well run from Farron. I thought
Ball
he was
watching,
in all sorts
yeah,
then.
he was ball watching a little bit, so he's lucky that he got home, really. He should have just put the head down and run from the moment Tyler Van Leeuwen called yes. But he did get there. One ball remains. Short, just short of Golding on the 3 line. So 2 runs to finish. And they're only on 5, Tony. They're going to need, I think, to get to something like 20, as you said. Hard to see them getting there at the moment.
Oh, the big thing is they can't afford to give away any cheap wickets now. If they're going to, make them earn them at least.
Goldsworthy will bowl the 4th over of the innings, and Western Australia are well and truly on top of the ACT side.
It's a good shot. Oh, direct hit, he was gone. But now they need to ride a little bit of luck with them.
Yeah, they've got to run on those, don't they?
Yeah.
At the same time, a dive wouldn't go astray.
Oh, that's the 3rd bowled for the innings.
It's all coming undone for Tyler Van Leeuwen. They've obviously got a very specific plan to him, and they're making it work. They've put him in a position where he has to play shots he doesn't want to now, and that made that last wicket possible.
Well, I guess if I'm Jason Hayes, I'm saying to my other pairs, look, they had a minus pair. And they still got to 110. So the game's not over.
Good composure there for Van Leeuwen. He's obviously disappointed, but got 3 more runs for his team. Yeah, I agree. If they can match all of these pairs or better, then they'll win the game. Farron,
no.
with no choice but to go the big shot, and comes unstuck, and the wheels are well and truly falling off the ACT run trace.
It's always a danger, isn't it, though? You start to look at the scoreboard, starts to play with you. And credit to WA, they are putting it in the right areas.
One ball remains. And the opening batsmen for the ACT have failed to trouble the scorers, Tony. Scorers.
Yeah, look, I guess it now comes down to this pair. They have to score runs. There is no tomorrow now. These guys have got to get 30.
Oh, at least, and then they need at least 1 pair to score, well, probably 2 pairs to score 40 runs here. I'm not sure where those 40 runs are going to come from. I know that I would suspect that Deaker and Dernan are going to bat 3rd, and that'll leave Tom Seaman and Tyler Hayes to bat last. And they put on 38. Maybe.
You know, if you've got both Tyler and Tom, do you want them to be last? They may need to come in early and sort of
give the ACT a chance.
Game on.
Yeah. Both Hawksworth and Wise are certainly capable of scoring and scoring quickly, but I just can't see how they're going to do it. Western Australia just too intelligent so far.
Oh. Wrong end. Nice hooping in swing there, though.
And Golding is the bowler.
And they've got the 2 on leg, so there's going to be a lot of pressure here on Wise.
Driven flat just out of the reach of Fontana. 2 runs.
It's a good field setting, though, because you've got Fontana, who's a lefty there, who can just pivot throw. So he can take up a bit more of the space. Oh, wide. Just missing his mark, but you can see what the tactics are. And another wide. They've caught that ACT disease.
Yeah, well, I think the ACT are going to need them to bowl about 30 more of those.
He's certainly hooping them a long way.
If he's got a change up, now's the time to bowl it.
Oh, handy three, 10 off the over. Well, you wanted 40 runs somewhere, that's the start.
Yeah, it certainly is. It wasn't the most convincing 3 in the history of the world, but...
you don't draw pictures.
Correct. Unfortunately for Dom Hawksworth, it's recorded for posterity. But he'll take it. They'll take every run they can get at this point. It'll be Fontana coming in now to maintain the pressure.
He's carrying a little bit of an injury, Fontana, so I don't know if he'll get the zip that he normally gets with his bowling.
A little bit of tweaking of the field, and it'll be a 3-man offside field to Dom Hawksworth. That'll be why.
So he's just going to run those fingers across the ball, just trying to get it to duck a little bit away. The imposing figure of Criddle White there in their face at cover. Oh, chance. Still a chance. Oh, he's a...
Yeah, good early call of no from Hawksworth and a good response from Wise, but they are now on 3rd ball.
Lets them off the hook a little bit with that one. Going back to the standard field now. It's a good shot for 2.
Yeah, not a bad approach so far. It's very cautious from these two. They're not trying anything silly, and you know, we keep saying the idea is to give themselves a chance to win it in the last over, and they're not going to do that by going the big shot here. And he goes for one anyway. And
if they quietly keep building, you know, all of a sudden they could be close enough to 17 after 2 would be good. They're just asking the question of WA here. No.
Yeah. Speculative appeal, but 5
hopeful,
runs from the over, yeah.
Not fooling the umpire. Well, they've got halfway to the target.
Yeah, a long way away from the runs required. Certainly not insurmountable. I think we've said before during the Western Australian innings that the ACT would need some sort of a dramatic reversal of form, and to everyone's surprise, they did it. So, does this game have another twist in it yet? Riley Cameron will bowl the 7th over. It'll be Dom Hawksworth on strike. Two runs to Wise. Chance there at the top. If any of our viewers have happened to switch over to this stream from the other one, yes, it did black out temporarily. Someone managed to unplug the power, but they're now back up and running. So if you're watching the girls' game, please feel free to flick back over.
WA have just gone a little bit quiet here. It's almost as though they've gone into coast mode.
I don't mind that at all, Tony, being from the ACT.
Oh,
On a couple of
Hawksworth
wides
with a wild swing, but wide enough. Well, put it this way, it's enough to worry them that Wayne Fontana's come to the back net now to try and talk to his bowlers. So he's trying to rev them up.
That'll be out.
Oh, that hurts.
No,
No, give him not out.
It's dropped short. So I'm not even sure if Messeraven claimed that, but his teammate certainly did. But
Well, he doesn't look upset that it wasn't given
no,
out.
the umpire, very clear vision of that. A good call. And last ball.
And 25 with an over to go.
Yeah, you need to just keep on going. Just looking at the ACT bench, it will indeed be Durnan and Deaker to come out and bat third. So no change to the ACT lineup. The coach, Jason Hayes, just relying on that pair to give them, as we keep saying, to give them a chance at winning the game. This pair, for mine, need at least 10, hopefully 15 runs off the over here.
And I can understand that from Jason Hayes because a change sometimes can almost say to the pair that you don't have the faith in them. So it's positive from him to say, you guys go in there, get us close and let the last two bring us home.
Yeah, well, they were part of the team that got them to this game to begin with, so got to back them. It'll be Criddle White
coming on, so they're really looking to try and nail this. Oh.
Finds the edge straight away. Dot ball.
They can survive this and get it past the 30. They've used up one of their big guns then in the first 8.
It'll be out. Oh, great dive from Wise.
He's done well, Wise, hasn't he, there?
I think I'll keep doing that. It's the second time I've said that'll be out, and they've failed to take the wicket, so I'll just keep saying that every ball.
Well, you know the Criddle White's going to be full. If nothing else, he's going to be right at the stumps. There it is again. Wise did well, didn't move. I'd like to find at least another 4 or 5 runs though here.
3 balls remaining.
Oh.
Beats him.
So now we've got the 3rd ball.
Yeah, if the ACT are going to have any chance of winning this match, they're going to need to see this one off safely, one would think. It'll be Criddle White to Dom Hawksworth. 3rd ball with 2 balls remaining. And he does well.
Gets the 2.
So 1 ball remains now.
Criddle White imploring his front court field to get right in on top here.
No call. So they finish with a good pair of 28, but in the context of the match, is it enough? I'm not sure. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the final match in our series of finals today, the 17&U preliminary final, live from Sports World Dubbo. The winner of this match will advance to the grand final against Victoria. A quick update in the 17&U girls. The Cyclones looking very comfortable in their pursuit of 83. The winner of that, again, will take place in the grand final tomorrow. Just on that, we will resume live coverage tomorrow morning again from Dubbo Sports World at about 8:40. We'll have the 13&U and 13&U boys and 14&U girls grand finals. They'll be followed by the 15&U boys and 17&U girls grand finals, and finally the 17&U boys grand final. So do stay with us for the rest of this match and join us tomorrow for the big dancers in each division.
Well, this is the pair, isn't it now? They have to get the ball into the nets. Oh. There's still a heartbeat with the ACT, but life support might be needed shortly.
Yeah, it's on the pacemaker for sure. It's a good shot there from Isaac Deaker, and fielded well, just a single. Golding's the bowler, none for 10 off his first over, so.
I thought he bowled better than that though, because he did hoop the ball a lot. That's a good shot.
Brent Durnan What an absolute progression that kid has had. First year at Nationals, probably I wouldn't have put him inside the front 8 at the start of the tournament. He's just earned his way.
I like the determination in his face too. He's come out with that steely look in his eye.
Yeah. Oh, through the gap. Probably going to need to take those runs, but
probably a good call though, because it did spring straight back to Nesbitt, and here's a good field.
10 and over from here on in. They need runs.
Oh.
The big swing and a miss. Strike one, and Isaac Deakin now on third ball.
Probably known as Plan B, and I don't know if it's time for that yet.
Beaten. Got to get him out at the top, and they will.
Out. That's really hurt them.
Yeah, it did. So they're going to need sort of 15 and over from this point forward if they're going to have any chance.
6 ball over game. That's a very tough ask.
Yep. Yeah. 5, yeah. Pretty much 15 and over from here, I would say, if they're going to give the last pair a chance at winning.
WA would have to bowl incredibly bad to lose this from here.
Yeah, and I think the other thing in WA's favour is that neither of these two batsmen are natural big hitters. If they're going for a big hit, it's an across the line sort of a shot rather than a pure cricket shot. So I think that just increases the chances that WA are home.
Wide. Fontana's definitely carrying an injury. This is not what he normally bowls. So he's just trying to get through the game now and try and make sure that he's ready for tomorrow should they win, which is highly likely.
I'd bowl him and take him off the court. Why would you risk an injury ahead of a grand final? In fact, you could probably, he didn't even need to bowl the second over. They're that far in front.
And he is critical to their team. He's such a class bat. Him and Criddle White at the top of the order.
Oh. Yeah, back right away. Try to give himself some room, but the ball just followed him. Yeah, gives himself even more room that time. And well played.
I might have to ask Josh if he's actually trying to bowl at his father's pace now. Sure, Wayne will let me know about that when he hears it on the replay later.
Yeah, very good sledge. Yeah, shot from Isaac Deakin. Just a single.
They're very controlled though, WA at the moment. There's no sort of panic out there. They realise the game's in hand. They've just got to keep bowling those lines. You called it early. Neither one of these two has a natural hitting game, do they? So no. They're just going to try and play those nets and hope to get it as close as they can.
Yeah, well, 2 balls, still 12 and over. WA better than that, though. Yeah, it looks like they are taking.
He is going off. Yep. Smart move.
So Fitzgerald, who was dropped after the major semi, gets to take part of the game here, part in the game, as a substitute fielder for Fontana. It'll be Riley Cameron bowling his second over. And, well, 36 runs needed if the last pair is going to have a chance for mine. And there's 2 of them. I can see the last pair getting 40. I can't see them getting 50. That's a harsh call. Yeah, yep.
Again, it's a very relaxed mood out there amongst the WA boys.
Yeah, they'd certainly be in energy conservation mode now ahead of...
That's a good shot.
Very good shot, just in the slot for him to be able to play that. Gets 4 runs for it. They'll need a few more of those.
Well, they need at least 18 off the next 9 balls. And that gets it to 60.
Driven straight.
Oh.
Very good early call of no.
Bit of intent from both batsmen.
Hope they make a liar out of me, Tony.
There's
Gives
two
himself
more.
some room, yep. That'll be the last ball now.
Don't know what happened to Messer over there. It was a sniper over there. Messer just fell over. It's a good shot.
Yeah, really good shot from Dika. They moved to 46, and you know, I've said a couple of times they need to be on 70. For ACT to be in the game at all, yeah, they need to come out on 60. So they're going to need a back net shot at least in this. It's sudden death cricket, Tony. They've got a chance their arm. They've got to have a dip.
Yeah, oh, look, there's no tomorrow if they don't, so.
No.
Again, you'd still like them to play good shots at it, not just throw it away at this point.
It'll be Claw to bowl. He's yet to bowl in the innings.
Critter White bringing the field back a touch, being a little bit defensive.
Great
And
shot
there's your first
from
shot.
Dika. They gave him the width and he put it away. That's
Credit
two of them
to
he's
him.
hit. Yep.
Credit to him.
Playing a miss there from Durnan.
Stepping back.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see in the stands Mark and Cindy Dika would be very proud of the way their son's batting now. He's
As
given
I
his
said, he
team
may
some
not
glimmer.
look like the classical player, but he's very effective in what he does.
Yeah. That'll be out.
That's out. Messer has a good field, left armour there.
Yeah. Look, the call was early and right. Dika obviously looking for the runs that they need.
Yeah. Oh, you can't blame him.
Yeah, just a good piece of fielding. It was straight to him in a direct hit. I tried calling it out early so that it wouldn't be, but to no avail.
Sadly, that first 4 overs is going to come back to haunt the ACT.
Yeah, it certainly will.
Nope.
The 2 balls remaining in the batting pair. They've done a good job. They've just lost 2 wickets in there. It's pegged them back and really kept them out of the game. Because, gee, that was very close to being out, but a single.
You know, the reality is they're probably going to go down, but Jason Hayes should be proud. Earlier in the week, they probably weren't one of the fancied teams when you looked at who they were up against, but to come and make it through to the prelim final, you know, that's a pretty good achievement. And it can't be undersold at the end of the day.
And with the possible exception of the Rockets, who have made 2 successive national finals, that underestimation of ACT sides is probably fairly standard. So I take certainly a fair degree of pleasure from seeing our sides continue to defy expectations in that regard.
And I know they won't see it that way because they'll see it as a loss and not making the grand final. But
yeah.
you know, when they review what's happened this week, they should be proud of what they've done.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jason Hayes, his aim when he took over this team as the coach was to prepare them to play at the men's level. So he's treated the team like a men's team. He's made it clear what expectations there are at the men's level, what sort of behaviour is appropriate, what people can get away with. And he's got that sort of response from the players. So if nothing else, I know that he will take some solace from that.
Well, if I put my New South Wales hat on, I can tell you I'll be telling the 20s coach that there's 3 or 4 kids that will be coming through that he definitely has to watch out for.
So Nesbitt bowling to Tyler Hayes.
Yeah.
Starts with a single.
And already, despite the fact that it's an insurmountable task, WA have a defensive field set.
Yeah.
So they're taking no chances with this at all.
Short.
Oh, that's a classic shot. Surely a no ball.
I cannot believe that is not a no ball.
Super shot from Seaman, though.
I even entered a no ball into my score sheet here, Tony. So Nesbitt got away with that one.
Yeah, in the big scheme, I don't think it's going to make much difference.
No, not really. And to be fair, without question, the most difficult thing to call from the umpiring stand, given
for sure
the position that they're in.
And I guess the ease that Seaman played it too probably made him think it probably wasn't as high.
Yeah, true.
He did moose it.
Maybe should have got an edge on it.
Yeah, a bit casual from Criddle White. You can tell they're in cruise mode now.
Yeah, well, the last thing Western Australia want to do is injure somebody or do something stupid and rub someone out of a game. So, you know, the game being the national final. And a single to finish. They take 9 runs off the over, so a good one for the ACT. Clearly not enough to keep them in the hunt. And whilst this isn't proving to be the most exciting game of indoor cricket in the world in terms of a tight finish, how impressive have Western Australia been?
If you told me beforehand that they'd come out and play the way they have, I would have said there was a 50-50 chance of happening. You know they've got it, but whether they had the mental fortitude, and they've really done well with that, so credit to their coaching staff to get them up.
Dropped.
Always put it down. I'd really like to see Hayes and Seaman go on and bat, sensibly for the rest of it. They've played too well this competition to throw it away. So,
and of course, other than vying for a national title, a number of these kids are trying to get an all-star shirt.
Yeah.
And that in part is based on some statistics. So yeah, they don't want to just throw the game away, even though it is lost.
For the self-pride. I mean, they're both good players.
Yeah.
You want to see them finish the tournament the way they've played the whole week.
Just on those all-star players, which we'll announce at the conclusion of our coverage tomorrow afternoon, can reveal that one of Cricket Australia's partners in Southern Cross Cricket will be providing all of the players named in the all-star sides with a Southern Cross Cricket bat. So it's great support from one of CA's supporters in Southern Cross Cricket. And
so can we convince him to do the same at Masters, I think?
Not so sure about that one.
Well run from Seaman.
Yeah, they just get through for that. Two balls remain, and Western Australia are just 14 balls away from a national final appearance.
Well run again.
Yep. Tom Seaman had had a groin injury earlier in the week, nearly rubbed him out of the tournament. So
you wouldn't know that watching him scamper between the wickets.
Amazing credit to Regan Gardner and Esther Malone, our two trainers, and certainly to Tom Seaman to play through pain and just keep going and going and going as they take 2 from the last ball of the over. 10 runs from that. So again, these two continuing well, doing as we expect that they will.
Yeah. What you'd give for 20 runs at the beginning now.
Yeah. And look, I feel for Tyler Van Leeuwen and Dylan Farron. They've enjoyed a very, very good tournament as the opening sticks for the ACT. It just hasn't come together tonight. They'll be gutted, no doubt.
They'll learn from it though.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are the hard lessons that you have to go through. We've all been there and done that before.
Yeah. Claw bowling. Can confirm for you that the New South Wales Cyclones will win the 17 girls preliminary final, so they have advanced to the grand final.
That'll be a really big game against the Vics. But they're capable.
That one pushed down leg.
Yeah, it's winding down. It's a good shot.
Yeah, 2 runs.
It's interesting, Tyler Hayes is a lefty, unlike his dad.
Yeah, in every respect, he's almost a little clone of of his father, except he bats the other way.
That's on the right side.
The right side, says the lefty.
He didn't tell the umpire he was changing sides. Won't matter now.
No.
Wouldn't want to make the same mistake tomorrow.
No, absolutely not. That'll be a coach killer.
Played relatively easily. I know there's no pressure on the game, but he's still executing those shots really well, Tyler Hayes.
Yeah. The leg side to finish.
6 balls left.
And it'll be it's a late night for the Western Australian boys as they have to turn around and recover for tomorrow's final.
That'll be a very hard game to pick as well. The Victorians, as usual, have come from nowhere and come with a wet sail. And they are on a real high.
So the final over of the preliminary final and of the ACT's tournament. It's Goldsworthy to bowl, and that'll be out.
Taking no chances, they had 3 players on the back net.
I don't know where this has come from all of a sudden, like just this massive defensive position. Are they just trying to avoid getting hurt? I don't know what they're doing.
Critter White's still organising them. They're all deep.
Standing right in front of me, I might add. Can't see a thing. 2 runs to Seaman and 3 balls now left in the match.
It's a nice shot again from Hayes.
3 runs to his total. Down up single into the middle of the court and the last ball of the prelim final.
Strong finish.
Yeah, 2 to finish, and that brings the match to an end, and Western Australia have advanced to the 2016 17 and under grand final. And unfortunately for the ACT, their tournament has come to an end. It wasn't the tight match we were looking for, but in the end, a comprehensive win for the Western Australians, Tony.
Yeah, look, they came back from what was a pretty ordinary semi-final loss. They lifted, as you said, their first 3 pairs set it up. Credit to ACT, they were able to come back and restrict them, but at the end of the day, it was just too big an ask at the end of the week.
Yeah, and probably the first 4 overs of both innings really set the tone. Western Australia getting 42 off their first 4 overs set them up for a plus 100 score no matter what happened. I mean, they had a -3 and still got 110.
Yeah.
And then to restrict 2 of the ACT's best bats to 0. When they've had a fantastic tournament, that took them out of the game from there on in.
Oh, look, it was always going to be incredibly difficult from there. I mean, they didn't give it away. Each of the pairs really fought hard. At the end of the day, as we said, they can be proud of their efforts. They'll be disappointed and gutted, I'm sure, but all looking good for the future, especially for the 20s next year with a few of those boys going up.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. So our commiserations to Jason Hayes and his players, but congratulations to Western Australia, who will take their place in the final against Victoria. We'll just give you a quick recap of what you can expect tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. The 13 and under boys grand final between Victoria and Western Australia, and the 14 and under girls grand final between Victoria and the Australian Capital Territory. They'll be followed by the 15 and under boys grand final between Queensland and the Cyclones, and the 17 and under girls grand final between Victoria and the Cyclones. And the final game for the tournament will be the 17 under boys grand final, with heavy favourites at this point. You'd probably have to say Victoria against Western Australia. Victoria in four of the 5 grand finals, Tony.
Well, I'll stick my neck out and say I think Western Australia will do them in this competition in the 18, or in the 17s, without a doubt. They're on a roll. They'll get themselves up. It'll be a great game, and I can't wait to watch.
Absolutely. So we might leave it there for now, ladies and gentlemen. We certainly hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the finals series so far today. We do pass on our thanks to Destination New South Wales, to the Western Plains Regional Council, and of course Cricket Australia for their support, ensuring that we can come to you live from Sports World Dubbo. Tony Penacasio, thank you once again for your company.
Thank you, Cam. It's been a pleasure.
And we hope you've enjoyed the coverage for the team at Be Live and the rest of the broadcast team. I'm Cameron Walter. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.